Hi, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the third live stream I've done so far. Give it a second. See, there's two people in the waiting. See it pop up on my phone. Says excellent connection. All right, we are live. Cool. Well, thanks for everybody who is tuning in. I know there's probably not a lot of people. We'll give it a second. Let some people get on the live stream before we take off here for the deep dive. If you're wondering why I keep using these pictures, I don't know. It's like a futuristic underground city. This is underground crypto. Maybe underground we have a futuristic crypto city. Just throwing it out there. Sounds like a great project that I have absolutely no time to build. But it would be cool. So if you're tuning in, this is the Underground Deep Dive Show, Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. And we're mostly just going to be researching coins. The whole point of this community is to build a bunch of people who are interested in deep diving crypto. Researching crypto is what I mean by deep dive. And you bring whatever you find back to the community. We'll have a Discord group for sure. And from there, we'll just continue to grind and build, really. Hopefully a few more people hop on here before I get started. And it's a Thursday, probably a little more quiet than most days here. People winding down. All right. I certainly don't want to wait forever, even though there's not a lot of people here. If you go back and watch it, I don't want to put too much time. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the thing. Hopefully it is already set up for me. Nope. And we are just starting these live streams, so we're going to get better at the production here as we go. This is the third one I've done. We're going to be doing it Monday through Friday, 8:30 p.m. New York time. You know, you can equate that to wherever you live if you're not on New York time. And as we've been, I like to use CoinGecko. Some people like CoinMarketCap. I'm just going to use CoinGecko because that's what I'm familiar with. And let's go ahead and take a look at the price of Bitcoin. So Tuesday, when I did my first live show, we were around 113,000. We had pumped up a little bit yesterday, and then today we pumped up a little bit more. We're up, let's see, on the 24-hour 1.9% at $117,414. And look at that Ethereum, 3,898 dollars, almost 3,900. Was just looking at an article before I went live here. It was talking about how the real value of ETH should be more like $6,000, which I think is fair. Of course, the article was called "Could ETH 100x?" And then the whole point of the article was that the real value should be more like $6,000, which is only like a 1x, not even. So it was a stupid article. That's besides the point, I guess. XRP 329, up a great 10.5% in the last 24 hours. Tether, look at that. Tether is $1. Who would have thought? BNB $785, up 2.4%. Solana up 3.6% to 174. I know my mentor was projecting it to go to like, I think 264, 265. So we'll see how quickly that happens. Sometimes those type of moves happen quick, and sometimes they just slowly keep pumping up over a month or so. We're going to look at what is trending. See if anybody else popped in here. So it looks like people popping in and out. Hit the like, share, subscribe, send this to somebody you know loves crypto. Do you love crypto and wish you had more time to really dig into these crypto projects and make better investments? I'm not a financial advisor, but I like to research. I like to look at their websites, their Twitters, what they have going on, maybe use the product a little bit if it's a game or, you know, some kind of financial lending thing. Maybe I'll mess around with it and connect my wallet. So here we are on what's trending. Pendle is in that financial category. Of course, XRP, the number one trender here on CoinGecko right now, as it's up 10.6%. There was, I think, some good news, some good XRP news in the cycle today. So that's great. If anybody's in here, drop a comment. Let me know. Like I said, it's only the third time we've gone live. I can't be mad. I thought I was going to be talking to a room full of absolutely nobody for probably months. But it seems like it was a little better than that. The first day, I think we had about 50, 60 people on. And then yesterday, it was like more like 100 people had come in through the whole live stream. But people were commenting. We were talking to people. In these early days of these live streams, you get a little more access. If you want me to look at something for you, you can go ahead and put that down in the comments, and I'll deep dive it for you. In a year from now, you might have to send a super chat to get that kind of treatment. So if you're early on this channel, take advantage of it. Anyways, we got Pendle, Ethereum, of course, doing well, Bitcoin. This is what's trending, Bitcoin. That's funny. Pump.fun, of course, Solana ecosystem there. Sui, which I absolutely love. I got into Sui around $1, so I cannot be mad at that. Solana up to 174. We had just gone over that. Magic Internet Money, or ticker MIM, and it says Bitcoin because I believe it's built on Bitcoin. Ondo, which I love as well. Real world assets. Hyperliquid, we looked at yesterday. Aerodrome, kind of the liquidity center for the Base blockchain. How many of you guys believe that Coinbase is going to not pay attention to their blockchain? They're not going to pump any money into their blockchain, and they're just going to let that thing fail with, you know, the connection to them and their name. They just don't care. They're just going to let it fail. Probably not. Not financial advice, but they're probably going to make sure that thing does well because it goes with their brand. They're a crypto platform. And so if their crypto blockchain completely flip-flops or flops and does terribly, that might hurt their brand a little bit. So I bet you they have an invested interest there. And when you get over to the Base blockchain, who's going to provide all the liquidity? Aerodrome. And if you understand that concept in speculating here, then I got another really good one for you that I will give out a little bit later when we get a little farther into the stream. That is basically the aerodrome of the Sui network. We got Arena Z, Chainlink, this Zora, which was trending and pumping a lot. That one might be worth taking a look at, because I don't know if I ever actually looked at Zora. So Zora, 280 by market cap, $257.6 million in its market cap, 10 billion tokens in its max supply, and a whopping 15... Okay, sorry. I was going to read the total value locked as if it was the circulating supply. That didn't make any sense. 15 million out of 10 billion tokens. No, you got 3.2 billion tokens in the circulating supply. So, of course, a ton of tokens that need to come out, which brings me to my next question about this project. Yeah, when I go from, you know, 3-month chart to a max chart, they don't look all that different. April 22nd, 2025 is when CoinGecko started tracking this coin. They're usually pretty quick with getting it onto their platform, so I doubt it was out much longer than that. Let's pull up the month. And from the month, you know, in the beginning of the month, you came in at around 0.008, and you are up to 0.8. That's pretty much almost a 10x right there. could have 10x your money on Zora. Now, how you would have known about this ahead of time, I'm not sure. It is a base blockchain contract, something we were just talking about. 24-hour trading volume's a little low. Only 179, call it 180 million. I guess it's not that low for that project. That's actually pretty good compared to their market cap. So I'll walk that back a little bit. We're going to pop over to their website. And if you like knowing more about cryptocurrency, well, then this is for you. What am I looking at? My God, I can get my stream banned over here. What is this? This is Zora? Zora's just like a Twitter? Never know what I'm clicking on here. So yeah, this looks like a feed, man. This looks like some kind of social media network. Okay. So let's see. Does it have a category? Is this SocialFi? If you know, you know there are a lot of people, or a lot of projects, I should say. There's people in the projects, but there's a lot of projects that have been trying to be the first to come to market with a working SocialFi, or social media meets decentralized blockchain technology. Maybe not so decentralized, maybe more centralized, or a mix of the two. But either way, blockchain technology with social media. Who's going to be the first to get that right? There has been several projects that have tried, but none of them have really gotten it right because, well, they're not popping anymore and other people are coming in and trying to take over. I don't know what I was just looking at. It looked like a Twitter, but it was their website. And I think that's what Zora is. It would explain why it's 10x'd in this last month. It would explain why people are really into it. And honestly, it's very hard to grow on certain platforms like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, maybe we want to be on Zora. Maybe we need to check that out. Anyways, bounce back. We won't waste too much time on that. What I was planning on focusing on mostly for today's stream is GameFi. So we're going to be looking at some GameFi projects, one of my favorite niches in the crypto space. I think maybe tomorrow we're going to do SWI ecosystem stuff. So if you're really into SWI, maybe you're not watching me live now, but maybe you're catching this later. Come back 8:30 New York time, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, and I think I'll be looking at SWI ecosystem stuff. And I have a really good pick. I can't take full credit for it. My mentor actually is the one who showed me it, but either way, it's a great pick, right? Won't spend too much time on that. So that's what's trending. Let's go to top gainers, top losers of the day. And this is just kind of how we start off the show while we're waiting for people to maybe get on board here. So top gainers of the day, up 90%, this Arena Z. Kind of interested in what that is. Let's take a look at that. Leagues of Kingdoms, or LOCA, has been rebranded to Arena Z. These type of things always sketch me out. I hate when I'm holding a coin and they do a migration and this, that, and the other, and yeah. Can go really well, it can go really poorly. Let's put it that way. So let's look at the max chart. Looks pretty much the same. CoinGecko started tracking it July 30th, 2025. On the year, it looks about the same. Let's go get the month. Looks the same as the 7-day. So this coin doesn't seem like it's been out very long. Obviously, it was another coin, and they're rebranding, so they have a new coin. It looks like they're migrating over. I don't know what the ratio of the migration is. Mike is echoing. Well then. How do I fix that? How bad is it echoing? Can you tell me? Is it really bad? Let's see if we can fix that. That's probably why nobody's tuning in. All right, sourced then sold. Can you tell me, are we still echoing really bad? How are we doing now? Moderately. I have noticed people come in and out, and people usually stay a little longer, so I was wondering what that's all about. It would be a shame to have to end it and restart. Did it fix it at all? YouTube was yelling at me to change a setting, and I changed it, and I wonder if that's what messed it up. Alright, is it any better now? Alright, I'm really relying on you out there, Sourced and Sold. Can you let me know if, is it bad enough you think I need to try to mess with the settings here, or should I just rock through it? No, it wasn't doing it the whole time. Okay. Maybe I was just too close to the microphone. Oh, a tiny bit. Okay. Well, I turned the volume down a little bit. I don't know if that helps. Anyways, I know that's kind of a little bit of a distraction in what we were doing here, but got to make sure that our production is as good as it can be. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't think it's worth ending the stream and starting a new one. Got a few people in here. If you're in here, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to a small channel. I tell you that. One of the biggest things you could do for me. Alright, now where were we? $58.1 million in market cap for this coin. I'm really interested in what the website looks like. Arena Z. They released their white paper. So here's the conversion rate. 1 LOCA for 20 A2Z token. Scroll down. Alright, it didn't have a lot of other options. From A to Z, your play never stops. Uncover premier Web3 games. So here's this League of Kingdoms that they had. That was, I think, the original game, but now they have a bunch of other stuff. They got some casino slots, some Loke Hunter, another League of Kingdoms game, LOK Chronicles. So they're trying to really put some games together. I don't know how many of those are playable at this point. Discover Arena Z. Learn how Arena Z is paving the way for mass Web3 game adoption. I think we may be doing another live stream where I just play DeFi games, because that would be awesome to me. I don't know if anybody else would like that. Drop a comment if you'd like a separate stream where I just play DeFi games. Earn now. Discover featured NFTs and tokens from our reward page. Build with us. Join our community. The typical things that you see on here are partners. Partners is a loaded word for me because a lot of times that can mean almost anything. Are they really partners, or do they just somehow wind up on OpenSea, which is for NFTs? It could easily have NFTs on OpenSea. Does that make OpenSea their partner? I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Review games, yeah. I would love it, man. There's so many of them at this point, and I'd probably make some money. If you were around for the DeFi summer last bull run, I tell you, it was something else. Invest in a couple $100 and then making like anywhere from $150 to $200 a day was awesome. It just slowly dwindled too. It started really high, like $200 a day, and then it just kept dropping. Luckily, I was cashing out all of my stuff all the time into a stable coin. This was on Binance Smart Chain. So here's their games again. Let's see, genre. Wow, they have a lot of genres, right? There's a lot of genres for the 6 games that they have. I'll click on one. I'm not going to try to play one right now because a lot of times there's a good bit of setup that's needed to honestly do that. And let's make sure the volume is on. Doesn't seem like there's actually any volume. I tell you, the characters and stuff look like some some World of Warcraft, which I'm not hating on. It is an RPG. Yeah, yeah, that's what somebody else was saying, GD Crypto. How bad is it, the echo? I want to fix it, but at the same time, I'm not sure what all I need to do to fix it. And I don't want to end the stream and restart it and lose everybody that we have on here. So let me know how bad it is. Is it bad enough that you don't want to watch it, GD Crypto? And you can be honest, you won't hurt my feelings. Waiting for a reply here. So anyways, this is Arena Z. The graphics looks great, but I haven't actually played the game. I think we'll be doing maybe a separate stream where I do that kind of stuff. And we'll go back here. Has pumped a lot in the month. Not as much as the last project we looked at. But 63.5%. Pretty good. About half of the coins, a little more than half of the coins are out from max supply. Okay, and OBS is kind of bad. Not exactly sure what I need to do to fix it. A lot of times it won't let me fix things while I'm actually streaming, you know? Like all of the options will be kind of grayed out where you can't really do anything. And I think it was this bit rate. Let's see, can we change this bit rate? I'm going to turn the bit rate down a little bit because that's the only thing that I changed, because YouTube was recommending a much higher bit rate. And I mean, it was much higher than what I had it at, which was kind of crazy. I'm not a real techie nerd when it comes to all this equipment. So to be completely honest with you, I wish I could say I was a whiz at all this microphone and stuff. I'm not. It's been a slow road to learn how to do this. All right, I turned it down quite a bit. Please let me know if it sounds any different or if it's really the same to you. And since we're getting into this a little bit, I wanted to talk about a couple of news things. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these news articles at all. I'm just going to tell you guys because this is a daily show, so we should probably talk a little bit about what's going on a daily basis. Where is it? I had it pulled up. All right, here it is. All right, yeah, so if anybody can let me know if that changed it at all. I turned the bit rate down. It's the same. Dang it. I have no idea why I would be doing that. I don't want to spend a ton of time while we're live just messing with tech stuff. But the only thing I changed was the bit rate. And I already unplugged the microphone and plugged it back in. Here. Oh, wow, yeah, I turned it up. I have it playing on my phone so I can watch. Mic further from speakers. I don't have any speakers though. Like I literally have no speakers in here. All right, but at least I can hear it. Yeah, I just have the whatever speakers are in my laptop. I hope I don't lose too many people while I'm messing with it. This is the joys of live streaming. It is a pain sometimes. All right, maybe I'll turn this bit rate back to where it was originally. It's hard to fix things while you're in the middle of streaming. All right, I turned it down considerably. All right. Thank you, sourced and sold audio, and disable any unused mics. Wonder if I can do that right from here. All right. Did it go away? I gotta wait for the stream to catch up. I'm not gonna spend but maybe another couple minutes trying to fix this. No, it didn't go away. Dang it. So frustrating. Make up for it, I'll go a little extra longer at the end. You think they'd make this simple? All right. OBS settings, audio, and disable any unused mics. Go to audio. Set your mic to monitoring off. Of course, I don't see that. Oh, monitoring device. All right, did that fix it? That might have fixed it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any more time on it. I think I just fixed it. I won't know on my end for a second because it takes a second for the stream to catch up. And if you're just tuning in, maybe go ahead. Walk. I do see I have two like mics going. It's so weird because I only have one microphone. All right. There we go. I think that actually fixed it. If you're coming to any of these parts, I should have said this way earlier on. If you're behind, then go ahead and just hop over and skip ahead a little bit. All right, we're going to continue with the show. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, third live stream that we've done so far, and the first two went pretty well. So I guess, yeah, there it is. It finally stream caught up, and it's better. All right, I won't talk about the audio anymore. So we went over this A to Z coin. It looks pretty cool. Gaming. I could say this 100 times. Gaming, GameFi, one of my favorite things in DeFi. I never get enough time to really dig into it like I wish I did. That's why we are making this stream all about it. So it's cool that that kind of lines up with what I wanted to go over today. So real quick, top gainers, now that I know my microphone is working better, thank you to anybody who stayed. Please hit the subscribe button. Join us Monday through Friday. Comment in the comments anything you want me to look at, and I'd be glad to do that for you. We got this Yala is up 78.9%. Just take a quick peek at it. I keep deep dive, going over all the tokenomics and stuff. I don't really need to do that. We'll save that for if we actually like the project. Yala, sovereign Bitcoin money. And is it a Bitcoin? No, it's actually on Ethereum. So that's interesting. Talking about Bitcoin money, but it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Looks like another financial niche category kind of thing. Unlock native liquidity, enable permissionless yield. Going to skip through this stuff pretty quick because I do want to get to the GameFi. It's already 9 o'clock. But because of the interruptions and things there, I think we will be going probably closer to 9:15 just to make up for that little bit of hiccup there. Alchemy Pay. I recognize Alchemy Pay. BitFi I've heard of. Circle, of course. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So it is just another financial thing. And I have seen so many of these financial projects, but they all have their different niches, and there is a big need for liquidity. Thank you, John 316. It's good to see you back. ZBCN. I'm gonna go over that one next. So, anyways, this Yalla coin was pumping. It was up a good bit on the day. Let's go back. Yeah, 78.9% in the last 24 hours. Pretty good. As Roma fan token. Not sure what that is. I'm going to go ahead real quick for John 316 here. Volume is low. Yeah, I was messing with the volume. Should be up now. Let me know if it's fixed. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. All right. We'll fix that. So I was going over the top gainers. Again, third live stream, we're going to get this figured out a little bit better. There's this Yalla token. It's up quite a bit on the day, and I just hopped over to their website real quick. I'd already kind of read a few things on it, so I'll just scroll real quick. It's another financial type coin, and I was just basically saying that this coin might be another financial coin in the Ethereum ecosystem, but there's a huge need for these kinds of projects in order to support all the other projects. So that's what I was just talking about when I wasn't sharing my screen. Is the volume? Okay, volume's good now. Thank you, man. Again, glad to see you back. And I'm going to go over this coin for you. What was it? ZBCN. I've heard of this. I feel like I probably should know what it is just by the ticker. I do know most things by the ticker. All right, it says that this ZBEC has recently migrated from an old contract to a new one. So definitely be aware of that. $451.8 million in its market cap. Not too shabby. And let's see, what was its height of its market cap here? I guess I should go back farther. Looks like, at least in the last year, it did go over 500 million. I wanted to see if it did. Nice. We'll go back to what were we at, 24 hours or the 7-day? Ooh, don't want to show that 24-hour chart. Doesn't look all that great. Anyways, the 1 month... and I'm just messing around. 24 hours is not a big deal in crypto at all. So let's see, 100 billion max supply tokens, 86.3 billion out. So, I mean, right there you could say 86.3% of the tokens are out into the circulating supply, which is awesome. It's a Solana ecosystem coin. Let's go look at their website. Yep, decentralized infrastructure network for seamless flows for real world value. There's your keyword. That's what's important. What niche is this in? Probably financial, but you could take it down to an even smaller category, and that would be real world assets. Changing the way money moves. Around the world, blockchain technology is being adopted at a rapid pace. ZBEC is helping to create a future where money and value moves more freely, giving individuals, businesses, investors, and teams faster and easier access to funds and tokens. Real world asset payments, ZBEC Silver, ZBEC Black. So Silver is spend your crypto anytime, anywhere, instantly. Black is a reloadable and limitless and DePIN network. Interoperable blockchain infrastructure and ZBEC POS device. Interoperable is its ability to work with multiple different blockchains kind of seamlessly. It's definitely super important. It's a big word, but that's really all it means, is it works well with other things. But it's super important when you really, a lot of people, I'm just going to take 2 seconds to say this. A lot of people get into crypto. They just are looking for, number go up, price go up, and they're not really thinking about what any of this stuff does. Why is it important? Why is it the future? But then quickly, maybe you have some interest and you move past and you start messing around with DeFi. Maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe you're doing some GameFi and you quickly learn like, oh, I have some money on Ethereum and I'd like to move that, to Binance Smart Chain, or I'd like to buy some BNB to put on my MetaMask wallet. Well, not an easy thing to do. All the time it's getting better. All the time it's getting easier. But when projects are not interoperable, it's a pain. It really is. And you're like on YouTube trying to find somebody who has a tutorial on how to do it. Some good content idea, actually, now that I mention it. But yeah, as I mess around with those things, I'll probably have to make some tutorials myself when I can't find them. But it's a pain to figure those things out. And we went to the bottom of the website. All right, cool. Products. We got the ZBEC card. Real world asset payments, DPIN, ZVEC Vault, kind of went over that a little bit already. Company, changing the way money moves. Here's their vision. Did I already read this? Yes, I already actually read that, so we're not going to read that again. At the core, our mission is to deliver transformative blockchain-based consumer applications that significantly impact and improve people's lives. It's kind of a big, vague statement, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Payroll and DApp, decentralized application, is what DApp stands for. And John 3:16, if there was anything specific you wanted me to talk about, go ahead and throw that in the chat about this project, of course. And I could get into a lot of the nitty gritty of this stuff, but a lot of times it's going to be repetitive and not really a great value for me to keep saying over and over, because for the people who don't care about this project or this type of niche in crypto, if you're just here for the meme coins, you're tuning out when I over talk about this. Governance. All right. ZBCN is the governance and utility token. And what is governance? That is people owning the token, and it works a little different depending on the project, but most projects, by how much of the token you own, you have the ability to have a percentage in the say, or a voting right, or a certain amount of voting rights when different issues get put up. Like if they said, hey, we want to sell 50% of the tokens that we hold in the treasury to invest in a brand new website. Well, everybody could come in who owns the token and they could vote if they want to do that or not. And whoever wins will decide if the money gets moved. That's how it's supposed to work. That's governance at its finest. Airdrop and token integration. Welcome to our official hub to claim airdrops and rewards when campaigns go live. Gotta hit the water. Give me 1 second. Got this fan constantly kicking. Check airdrops and your eligibility. So if you're interested, you can come right over here and check your eligibility. Our cards and partners integration come with exclusive rewards. So that's some cool stuff there. I think I pretty much covered the project. I will launch in a separate tab if it'll let me. All right, it's not letting me do that. Choose a network, I guess Solana. Let's go ahead and launch their app. Take a quick look at what that looks like. Whatever. I'll connect my MetaMask real quick. Oh, it's got to be connected to Solana. All right, I don't want to burn too much time on that. All right. I will have a wallet kind of ready to go for connecting to things in the future, but as of today, no wallet is ready. And we'll just pop back over because I kind of went over the top gainers, but I really wanted to see what the top losers were. And this is something that you'll see a lot, right? This GX chain was one of the top gainers yesterday. Today, it's one of the top losers. And what goes up quickly usually comes down quickly. And in, technical analysis, they say a lot of the time what gets wicked usually gets candlestick, meaning if it wicks up to something, usually price will then move up to that at some point later as well. Illuvium down, hate to see that. We talked about Illuvium a little bit yesterday, and Illuvium was the promise of the perfect project, and I just haven't seen it pan out yet, but that's on my list to dig a little bit into with our GameFi. so I will save that for then. Don't see anything too crazy on here. Pendle up 30%. And now we're going to get into the more meat of the matter. I probably should do like a 2-hour show to really go into as depth as I'd like to, but my wife would probably kill me. RuneCoin, bro, why is it going up? I don't know. It's a good question. Let's check that out. Also, Caesar, do I know you in real life? I'm just curious. I have a buddy named Caesar who I used to talk about crypto with. Let's check out RuneCoin. Right, not RuneCoin, but just Rune. Oh, okay. Thorchain. Thorchain at $1.36. Man, I remember when Thorchain came out, and I remember when it had a couple exploits and things like that. If you go to its max chart, you'll see sometime. I think it was maybe back in this region here. I don't know. It had a crazy fall when it had a hack and an exploit at one point. And your question was, why is it going up? I'm not sure. I don't know if there's any news around it today. But real quick, $477.3 million in its market cap, sitting at 184 by market cap with 500 million supply, max supply that is, and 351.4 million in its circulating supply. So well over 50% of its tokens are in circulating supply. And repetitive for anybody who's been watching me the last couple of days, but I will say, don't be scared about the number. It could be $1.36. It could be $136. It could be 0.0018 zeros, 136. None of that really matters. The price doesn't matter. What matters is market cap divided by how many coins are in circulation. And if you're even, slightly good at math, you'll see that it's 351.4 million in circulation, and there are more dollars in its market cap than the circulating supply. Therefore, you have more than a 1-to-1 ratio, and you have $1.36. Wonder if there's any news right now. If we want to know about news, anything exciting going on with Thorchain, probably going to be on their Twitter. Decentralized exchange for Bitcoin and native assets on 10 plus chains, so interoperable. Cross-chain infrastructure for Trust Wallet Ledger and more. 100 billion plus swapped, powered by Rune. So the chain is Thor, the coin is Rune, that's the native token. Let's see, it's got Community Spotlight, RuneTard, looks like something that has to do with some GameFi. Xscanner now supports CosmWasm, which was with Cosmos. We looked at that the other day. I'm not really too sure why this thing is pumping. And let's hop back over here. How much is it pumped? Today, only 4.6%. Or in the 7 days, only 4.6%. 3.7% in the last 24 hours. In the month, only 0.5. Yeah. I would say this thing's not really pumping that hard. I would say that any positive movement that you're seeing today is probably because Bitcoin's been doing well. And I might take for granted that a lot of people understand this, but when Bitcoin moves, the alts don't usually move immediately. So the way that Bitcoin's moving, whether it's going down, it's going sideways, or it's pumping, really depends a lot, or makes a huge difference, I should say, word it different, makes a huge difference on how the meme coins, altcoins, meme coins, any other coins. Altcoins is any project that's not crypto, or that's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. And and so if Bitcoin just slowly starts pumping up, usually things kind of move up with it. And I think that's what's going on here. I think Thorchain is just catching a little bit of wind in its sails because of Bitcoin price action. That felt really long-winded to say something simple. I do apologize. All right, too many tabs. Let's move back to where we were. All right, and here we are with what I was going to hopefully spend most of my time on, which was GameFi. So we have Floki up about the same. It's up 9.9% on 24 hours, but it's up 8.2% in the last 7 days. Floki was one of the coins that got listed on Robinhood Ondo, and Floki, I made a reel about it, got listed on Robinhood app yesterday or the day before, one of those. And that is kind of why it's caught a little bit of pump right now. Of course, the same thing is Thorchain. It's also because Bitcoin has been pumping. And I'll talk about that in a little more detail sometime if anybody wants me to. So Floki has $1.1 billion in its market cap and is listed number 105 by market cap. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about when I say that, the market cap, the amount of money is put in a list by who has the most, Bitcoin, Ethereum being second, all the way down to, number 1,000, 30,000, however many cryptos there actually are. And this is 105. So when you think about how many cryptos there actually is, maybe somewhere in the 30 to 40,000 coin region, 105 is not too shabby for a meme coin. And of course, Floki, we will hop over to their website because I'm interested. The People's Crypto. So it's a meme coin. What are meme coins about? Community, artwork, narrative. Those three words is what really rings in my mind when I think of a meme coin. Now, everybody who has meme coins, yes, there's the pump.fun meme coins that are just made by people who don't really have any vision, any project. They're just meme coins. They don't really do anything. But for the more advanced people in crypto, developers who are putting together a project, and they go like the more meme coin route to doing that, they usually nowadays have some reason for doing it. They have, bots, and they have games, and they have different things to keep you invested, to keep you caring about their project. So they have a play-to-earn NFT metaverse. That sounds super dope. Let's take a look at that. A lot of times you need to own an NFT in order to, be involved. Just like Pudgy Penguins, just like Bored Ape Yacht Club. We will accept your cookies. So it's an open world multiplayer. Looks pretty cool. It definitely needs to be accessible on a mobile app, right? That's a given. I don't know if it is, but I hope so. Experience the open world of Valhalla, Nordic mythology if you're not familiar. Explore and discover, engage in battles, create your own clan, complete quests, and interact with other players in real time. On mainnet, players will be able to earn Floki tokens. So it says on mainnet. So this might be in testnet. Okay, here's testnet up here. I see you can toggle between mainnet and testnet. So testnet usually comes first. Then at some point it goes live. Then you're on mainnet. If anybody was wondering. Tactical turn-based combat. I do like that kind of thing. And for a lot of people who maybe play Call of Duty or some more sophisticated game, I know pretty much everybody's played something like that. Crypto games are slowly building their way up to that. A lot of times they're very simple, but they're getting better. This is just a trailer here, a little bit of a gameplay. Hopefully it really looks like that. It is disappointing when you go to a website and you see gameplay and then you go play it and it's nothing like what it says it is. Capture your own Veros. Start your journey. Play now. And I could get super into this for this live, but I want to talk about more than one project, so we'll back it up off of this metaverse that they have. But that's really cool, this Floki play to earn metaverse, NFT metaverse, and they have a trading bot. Yeah, no problem, Caesar. I'm just seeing your comment here. It says, I think it has a RSIC ticker. Or that, are you saying that is the ticker for it? I'll go take a look at it real quick for you. Got you. Okay. Well, I did find a token. Drop it in the comment if I got the right one for you. It does say Rune, so I'm pretty sure I got the right one for you. And yeah, it is pumped a lot in the last 24 hours. 50%. Let's check it out. 7-day. About the same. Okay. Every chart I open, it's the same, which tells me, oh, well, no. Maybe it didn't just come out. Go to max. Go way back here. April 25th, 2024 is when Coinbase started tracking this. And it came out at a solid 1 cent, almost 2 cents. A high 1 cent, almost 2 cent in price. And then it's just proceeded to just absolutely floor. What can happen a lot of times, Caesar, is that people like a trading group or something or some investors get a hold of something like this and they just pump it to the moon. Or, you know, somebody will just run around and run a media campaign on social media and just get everybody super hyped about it and buying in, and then you'll see a candle like this. But if it's healthy, I would do some TA on this, but it'd take me a minute to pull it up on TradingView or whatever. But this is not a TA channel, so I don't want to get in the habit of doing that really. So market cap is undisclosed. 21 billion tokens in supply. Circulating supply is undisclosed. So this has a lot of things about it that we just don't really know anything about it. Let's go to their Twitter. Rune Coin. Good luck and enjoy the game. The factory hums, the ignits glow. We grow together or not at all. A snapshot of secrets stacked until block 88,000, 8,800,000, whatever that number is. I don't know why everybody chooses that nowadays. A lot of projects with that 88888 craziness. All right, I don't see a lot of depth to whatever this is. RSIC, I'm pretty sure RSIC, isn't that have to do with like, you know, GPUs and computer stuff? Again, I'm not a computer nerd. I might be into crypto, but I'm definitely not a computer nerd. Let's go check out their actual website. Maybe we will learn more from there. That was the news I had pulled up, if you saw that for a second. So season 1 results. So they had a season 1. Now what was their season 1 about? What did they do? I have absolutely no idea. It says that it's some kind of game, but I don't know where. You would think in their website we would be able to find what it is. Current blocks, everything's 0. Pooled RSIC 0. Everything is just 0. Which is crazy because they said it's been around since at least 2024. You would really think that there would be a lot more going on. And with that, I'm going to have to kind of kill it because there's not really anything all that great for me to talk about there. I'm going to switch back to my other frame, and we're going to talk real quick about just a little bit of news that's going on. So crypto in the 401k retirement accounts. The president right now is expecting to sign an executive order that would allow inclusion of cryptocurrencies, private equities, and real estate 401k retirement plans, potentially unlocking up to $9 trillion in retirement capital. Whew, that would be something. $9 trillion. I mean, what is the entire market right now? I should probably know that off the top of my head, and I don't. Let's see, they probably have it right here. Dominance. Right here, market cap. So it looks like 3.9, almost 4 trillion market cap for all of crypto. You know, let me put that into perspective. 3.95, almost $4 trillion in the market cap of all crypto, according to CoinGecko, and $9 trillion in retirement capital. That could make crypto run something absolutely crazy. Now, when would they be allowed to actually begin to move some of that money? I have no idea. Is $9 trillion all the money in all retirement capital? I have no idea. It almost sounds like it. And of course, everybody is not going to put their money in crypto. So some amount, even if a couple trillion flow into it from people's retirement plans, that's pretty awesome. Developer of Tornado Cash found guilty. A lot of controversy over that. Roman Storm, the co-founder of the controversial crypto mixer Tornado Cash, was found guilty of operating an unlicensed money transmitting business. He was acquitted of money laundering and sanctions-related charges, but faces up to 5 years in prison. The verdict signals heightened legal scrutiny of privacy tools in crypto. I mean, that's a heck of a story there. I know this was not supposed to be a news live stream, but I do want to say, he made something for people to, mix crypto, basically to hide where it's been before, where it came from. A lot of people speculate that the only reason you would need to do that is for nefarious things. Maybe that's true. Maybe there's other good reasons. Looks like most of the money laundering and sanctions related to that have been dropped, but he's still looking at 5 years in prison, which is probably a good deal for him, considering how hard they could have hit him with the book there. Ethereum hits new transaction heights, not surprising. Everybody has spent quite a bit of time just, putting Ethereum down. I'm not an Ethereum maxi, but you can't hide the fact that all the development is going on Ethereum. Your hedge funds, your big money favor Ethereum, over a lot of other things. So, of course, not surprised to see 1.74 million daily transactions. And then investors are increasingly shifting capital away from Bitcoin and Ethereum as meme coins like Little Pepe see 500% surge. That's a never-ending tale right there. And that's enough for news, I would say. It's enough news for right now. But that's kind of what's going on, as this is a daily show. All right. So back out of Floki. And we're probably going to pick up a little bit on this tomorrow, as well as go over some Sui ecosystem. Again, I should probably do more like a 2-hour stream to really go into the detail I'd like to go into here. Immutable X is another GameFi project. If you have ever heard of GameFi, you've probably heard of Immutable X. Sitting at 54 cents. Let's look at its max log here. At one point, it hit some crazy number. CoinGecko is terrible about letting me see like the exact top. It's probably an easy way to see the highs and the lows, and I just don't know it. Come on. Anyways, it was up there. I mean, I'm getting $8. I think it was much higher than that. But from $8 plus maybe 10 or more, I think I've seen this thing at $12 back in the day. 54 cents. Sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and pull market cap. What was its market cap back then? Max log. All right, so it's been up in the billions. It was at one point as high as like $4.8 billion in market cap at one point. And now it's at literally 1 billion. Very, very slightly over 1 billion market cap, with a max supply of 2 billion tokens and a circulating supply of 1.8, almost 1.9 billion in circulating. That's right there. That's like, 90-something% of the tokens are in a circulating supply. Why has it fallen so much from the 10, maybe even higher price range that it was? Of course, we had a bear market, and that's a big part of it. But also, you lost $3 billion in market cap is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your price. Let's go over to the website. The Universal Gaming Token. So we know it's GameFi, but can we break it down into even smaller niches? Oh, wow. It says there's 11 people watching. Shout out to everybody watching. If there's anything you're interested in, go ahead, drop it in the comment. Take advantage of this channel just getting off its feet and starting and being new. And I can actually kind of look at things for you guys as this picks up. Probably not going to be able to do that. So GameFi is inevitable. I agree with that. It's a massive global economy with billions of players. IMX is the easiest way to get involved. Is that true? I don't know. Nothing is financial advice that I say. This is just research and education. Trading rewards extended. The IMX trading rewards program will be extended to immutable ZK EVM. ZK usually is for zero knowledge roll-ups or some form of zero knowledge. And then EVM is Ethereum Virtual Machine, starting 7th of March 2024. Liquidity rewards. Digital Worlds Foundation is supporting the newly launched immutable ZK EVM chain by providing IMX, the token is IMX, rewards for liquidity providers starting March 7th. So if you want to provide some liquidity in the form of the IMX token, there'll be some rewards. Basically what we call staking. But it seems like maybe they have like a very separate specialized pool for staking with this ZK EVM chain that they are going to be running. And that's pretty much the gist of what they have going on here. Staking. The 20% of the protocol fees paid in IMX are reserved for rewards for active ecosystem participants. By staking your IMX and engaging in pro network activities, you're eligible for staking rewards. That's cool. So built into the protocol is like a 20% tax. A lot of cryptos have taxes built in for using for rewards, for putting money into marketing, all kinds of different things. That's kind of the cool thing in crypto. You can think of cryptocurrencies, and we say cryptocurrencies as money, but I like to say you should probably think of them more, or I think of them more, I should say, in my opinion, as like startup projects. In the stock world or anywhere that a business is starting up small, has a vision, trying to solve some kind of problem, and you invest in them. You say, hey, man, that's a great idea. I like what you're doing. I like what you're about. Let me give you some money as an investor. And then they build out the company. Where I was going with that is they build out the company, and then it's kind of like, well, what are we going to do? And some people are like, hey, we'll just take a 10% transaction fee on all transaction, and that'll generate us some constant money for everything. You know, we'll take 2% of that, put it to marketing. We'll take 4% of that and give it as staking rewards for people to provide liquidity so that our product runs and does what it's supposed to do. And I could go even deeper into that, but that's really the basics. Now, one thing I thought was interesting when I was reading about this universal gaming token is, I don't know if it's exactly big news. Can you check out Edge? Yeah, I will check out Edge for you in just a moment. But what I was going to say is there's a lot of speculation around Grand Theft Auto 6 and that there is going to be a token, cryptocurrency token associated with it. Who's going to own it? Is it going to be Rockstar? Probably, but that's not really said yet. Just a lot of speculation. It'll be an in-game token that's actually worth something outside of the game. You'll use it to buy everything. Now, will there be a blockchain associated with it? So your cars and your weapons and everything inside of it are maybe NFTs and you have real ownership. You can sell them on a market. All of those different things. I don't know if that's really going to happen. I think that's a little advanced. I think that's a little bit too advanced for everybody right now. But a currency that's in-game and is worth money outside of it, a cryptocurrency on blockchain, very possible. Let me close a couple of these tabs so I don't just keep showing the same stuff over and over. All right, somebody asked about Edge before we continue here. Is it a GameFi thing? I have no idea. Definitive Edge. Number 788 by market cap, sitting around a high 24 cents, almost 25 cents, $49.9 million in its market cap, $1 billion tokens in its max supply, and 203 million in its circulating supply. Reading giant numbers all the time on the fly, being live, that's fun. Just mess that up and look like a complete fool when you say like million instead of billion or vice versa. And I've watched so many big crypto influencers say the wrong thing and everybody kills them in the comments for it. And it's like, yeah, you've never had to do that every day. Or just reading different websites and stuff. They put some word salad sentences together. So that told us the tokenomics. Let's hop over to the website and see what it is. Advanced trading on every chain. Talk about interoperability. Every chain. Trade any asset on any chain like a pro with advanced order types. Discover better prices, deeper liquidity, and best execution, all from a single platform. How much money was in this market cap? 50 million. And they have a picture of what it would look like. Pretty much looks like any exchange you've ever seen in your life ever. Unlock more with Edge. Edge is our utility token designed to enhance your trading experience. Stake Edge to enjoy lower fees, gaining priority access to new features, and unlock exclusive rewards tailored for power users. And it's time to hit some more water here. Please hit the subscribe button and like. The sharing is optional. But please subscribe and like. No, I'm just kidding. It's all optional. I can't force you to do anything. Institutional grade tech built for the masses. I will say I've read hundreds of websites just like this. Do they have a working product? I think that becomes number one thing I need to know. Do you have a working product, or does it say coming soon? Create account. I want to create account. Just want to see your product. All right. And it automatically took me to Zora, probably because it's so trendy right now. I do love that we're moving a lot towards decentralized exchanges in trading on decentralized exchanges. Because if you've ever had to deal with centralized exchanges, and then like, here's a good example, KuCoin, was doing all my trading on KuCoin, had a trading bot on KuCoin that was doing all right, all that kind of stuff. And then they just decided like, you're American, you can't use it. And it wasn't KuCoin, to give them credit. Like, that wasn't KuCoin's idea that they would cut out the biggest market that they had. They would just destroy their business. Not that they went under or anything, but I'm sure it made it a little bit more tough. Think about how much revenue was coming in to KuCoin just in fees on trades and stuff from American users, and then you shut them all out and tell them they can't use it. Ah, man. Hope none of you guys ever forget how much they really did try to crush crypto. And regardless of what your political thoughts are, we don't get into that here at Underground Crypto. At least we're going to try not to. If you're into crypto, that wasn't good for crypto. We'll leave it there. So this looks like any exchange you've ever looked at. If you are into technical analysis, if you want to learn technical analysis, if you want to be a great trader, I point you to the Crypto Lifer. You go to YouTube, you type in Crypto Lifer, and you can't miss his channel, almost at 100,000 subs. Shout out to the real goat out here on YouTube. He's been live streaming consecutive days for a very long time, years, literally years. And if you want to know more about technical analysis, he is really who you should look to. So we will go back to, I lost my tab, but it only took me a second to get back here. Categories to GameFi. Really should have some background music. I meant to put that in and then I never did. Drop a comment if you think we should have just a little bit of background music going here. There's GameFi. Gala. So we went over Floki, we went over Immutable X. Gala is a huge project. I could do a whole stream just on Gala. And maybe we will. Maybe I'm just going to sit on here and be live 24/7 so that we can really look at everything. My wife would be so mad at me. Market cap, $748.2 million in market cap. Max supply, 50 billion tokens. Circulating supply, 45.5. billion tokens, so very close once again, circulating supply to the max supply, meaning the disparity or the difference between the two is very small. We like to see that. That means not many tokens to come out and drive the price down. Gala's been around for a long time. Let's check out how long CoinGecko has been tracking it. Yeah, that's what I thought. September 17th, 2020. I don't know when the project came out. I'm very much relying on CoinGecko to give me a very close estimate, but back to 2020 for sure. I know that's got to be true because people have talked about Gala for a long time. Let's go to their website, and I'm sure that their website probably has a lot of information. How many people do we still have with us here? Dropped significantly. I must have talked about something people didn't want to hear, huh? Never know what happens. But I appreciate anybody who comes in and checks out the stream. Gala got all kinds of different things. What is this? I don't even know what this was. Villages. Something villages. UX village? I don't know how you're supposed to... Oh, Vexy. That was supposed to be a V. It looks like a U. A relaxing idle game where resources never stop flowing. Got Gala music. Why not? Gala film. Gala might as well just be in everything, right? Bias-free, censorship-resistant AI assistant owned by the people. It's a word salad for you. That's pretty cool, though. Gala Chain. Gala Connect Live on Gala Chain. Champions Arena. They have all kinds of different things. Gala Chain ready to develop on Gala Chain. Games. Let's go check out all their different games. New battle passes. New character updates. I don't know what this pop-up is. Get out of here. Treasure hunt. Epic Gala sweepstakes. Not available in the UK and Ireland. Okay, so they have their own casino maybe? I don't know. So you got Meowcoin. Let's browse all their games before I start rattling them off. Townstar I've played before. I don't know why it says beta because I played that years ago. Is it really still in beta? That's crazy. Sweep It Poker. That's casino. If they're going to be a gaming thing, why not have casinos? No idea what the legality is behind that. I know that it goes state by state here in the United States and country by country everywhere else, I'm sure. Gala Dogs for the founder. That sounds pretty cool. Don't know what that is. Treasure Tapper. Eternal Paradox. Last Expedition. Legends Reborn. Early access, so that's new. Voyager Ascension, Echoes of Empire, Mirandus, Public Preview, Legacy, Dragon Strike, Meow Match, Early Access, Superior, Tavern Games, Vexy Village, which we had totally just talked about, Early Access, and they have quite a few games. Can't be mad at them for that. The development looks pretty good. Maybe we will spend more time on that at some point. And it is 9:46. I will definitely probably be closing the stream, getting closer to 10 o'clock. All right. So those three projects I feel like most people who care about GameFi know about. And of course, the Sandbox I feel like most people know about. When is it ever going to be out? Is it out? I know for a long time certain influencer who I used to watch who was very big in the space, you could say the biggest in the space at the time, they had a sandbox that was supposed to come out. They supposedly invested a ton of money in, and I don't think it ever came out. But also there were a lot of problems with that company, and who knows if the money went where it was supposed to. All right, so there's all kinds of things here for Sandbox. I was always under the impression that Sandbox wasn't a functioning product. This was probably a year or two ago. So it probably is a functioning product by now. Enter the metaverse. Let's see how far it'll let me go. Oh, I got to sign up. If I wanted to do that, probably should have did that in advance, huh? But they look like they have a ton of different games. Quiz, Team Tag, Reggae Golf, Ultimate Vampire Mansion Tycoon. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like Roblox games or games on Fortnite. I have a young son, so I know a little bit about those things. Whack-a-Doge, that's pretty funny. So they have all kinds of little mini games here. The big question is, are you earning currency? Because yes, it's fun to play some games, I guess, but GameFi or play to earn gaming, to me, what it's all about is there's some money to be made and not just to be spent. Because if we just want to spend money on games, we already have that available. That's not revolutionary to anybody to just have games where we could spend money on them. You could do that in the Apple App Store all day long. But can you make some money off of them? Can you farm some drops in an RPG game and have it turn into an NFT that you can sell on the marketplace, or trade and be your own merchant, like a real merchant who makes real money and pays his rent with it in a game? That's play to earn gaming to me. And something you see building up, but I haven't seen anybody really doing that yet. Axie Infinity. That's the one where like it's not a lot of money in American dollars, but over in like Thailand and the Philippines and stuff, people were living off of that game. Like they were paying their rent off of Axie Infinity. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of play to earn gaming that I'm really talking about. Now, here's one that I really actually am quite interested myself to go over. Decentraland. Mana is its ticker. Still 164 by market cap with $565.7 million in its market cap. $2.1 billion the max supply. I was just looking at the max supply number. Like, who decided that that was the number that they were going to go with? That is such a wacky number. Usually the max supply is like a very flat number. 200 billion, 2 billion, 1 trillion. They just went with like somebody mashed the numbers on the keyboard. And the circulating supply is 1.9 billion tokens. So a lot of tokens to come out. From my understanding, Decentraland was a pretty failed project. Now, is that true? Is that not true? Do they have something to show for all the time and effort? I don't know. Have you ever used Decentraland? How many people? We're going down. See, people maybe not interested in GameFi. Maybe that's just me. Or maybe it's getting late and people are hopping off. But anyways, do they have a working product? I don't know. Let's go to their shop. All kinds of different things. And again, we were talking about NFT and items. Looks like, you know, here's a thief's dagger, some shoes, some glasses. You can buy them in the currency that is Decentraland. Pretty sure that is the name of the currency. I guess it would be Mana. And with that, guys, we're probably going to kill it here. Looks like a lot of people have jumped off. I appreciate anybody who stuck around to the end. You are the real MVP. Again, this is the third day of the live stream. Let me get back to my right cutscene here. This is the third day of the live stream, and we're getting better as we go. Deep dive into researching crypto. That is the point of this channel. I hope you enjoyed. For the few people that stayed, I hope you're enjoying this stream. I hope to see you again tomorrow. What are we going to focus on tomorrow? Should we pick up where we left off? Put that in the comments. Should we continue some GameFi? Did everybody start dropping off because it's getting late? Or is it because they don't like GameFi? I don't know. But I want to go over some Sui ecosystem stuff, so maybe we'll do that on Friday. Maybe I'll put a poll up at the beginning if it lets me. I don't know if my channel is big enough for them to let me put a poll up, but we'll take a poll and see what people want to do. And I'll probably start going back over some GameFi, and we'll see what people think. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share. If you're watching this later, feel free to comment anyways. Just because it's not live, I will probably still see your comments. And if it's a good comment, I might address it in the next live stream tomorrow. All right, guys, Crypto Ron out. Have a great night or day or wherever you are.